is a tricky killer to play against, and you'll be seeing a lot of them after this update, so you'll want to watch this video. Hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get started. Noli has 1,111 health, a walk speed of 7.5, and a sprint speed of 27.5. That's the same walk speed as Cool Kid, and a slightly faster sprint than John. Noli definitely has the most interesting passive abilities in the game, with his first one being hallucinations. Several of Noli's abilities will inflict hallucinations on survivors, which not only reveal your location to the killer, but cause you to, well, hallucinate. Depending on the level of hallucination, you will see a different amount of them, having one hallucination at level 1, 2 at level 2, etc. At level 1, the hallucinations you can witness are timer displaying wrong info, objective count displaying wrong info, and Noli's chase music playing when he's not actually nearby. At level 2, fake pizzas and fake dispensers can spawn, which will give you fake health. This health disappears after hallucination fades. Finally, at level 3, a fake Noli will spawn in and chase you, which will appear to deal damage, but actually doesn't. The real Noli will be slightly invisible, making them harder to spot. Also, I forgot to mention, but once your hallucination goes away, this effect happens. Definitely an interesting design choice. So, these hallucinations can make the game quite stressful. His second passive ability is Prankster. Noli will spawn fake generators in places where real generators did not. If a survivor completes a puzzle in a fake generator, they will gain a stack of hallucination. If they fully complete a generator, they will instantly receive hallucination 3, and the fake generator will reset. So, be very careful with these. You can differentiate them by paying attention to their sound, which I'll play right now. Also, it was actually my suggestion to have Noli create fake generators, so if this ever messes you up, my bad. His first ability is Stab, where Noli uses a shadow tendril to stab forward. This deals 25 damage and has a cooldown of 1.8 seconds. It has a windup of 0.4 seconds, which is quite long. His second ability is Void Rush. After holding down the ability for 1 second, Noli will begin dashing forwards. You can slightly control the direction you're going in, and you will continue moving until you crash into a wall, hit a survivor, or the meter runs out. You can also cancel it at any time by no longer pressing the ability. This ability lasts for a while and can nearly take you from one side of the map to the other. If you hit a survivor, you will deal 10 damage and inflict them with hallucination 2, and after 0.85 seconds, you can immediately do another rush. If you hit a survivor with hallucination 2, you will slam them into the ground, dealing 30 damage and ending the move. So this ability can deal up to 40 damage to a single target. His third ability is Nova. Noli throws his Void Star after a 0.78 second windup, which you can aim using your cursor. If the Void Star hits a survivor or wall, it will create a massive explosion, dealing 15 damage and pulling survivors inwards. However, if it instead hits the floor, the Void Star will shatter. You can manually explode it by clicking the ability again, but this will result in a much smaller hitbox. Editing Corso here, a developer just told me that in the actual update, if the Void Star hits the ground, it won't shatter and will instead just have the same smaller explosion. Finally, their last ability is Observant. This is their most unique ability in my opinion. Once activated, all generators will be highlighted, and upon selecting one, Noli will teleport after 1.5 seconds. Once teleported, survivors will gain hallucination, with the level depending on how close the survivor is. 20 studs away equals 1 level, 60 studs equals 2 levels, and 100 studs equals 3 levels. So the closer you are, the less you are affected. When Noli activates his ability, a faint hologram of him will appear at every generator, warning nearby survivors. With that, we've covered all of Noli's abilities. Now, let's talk about how you can best use these abilities to make the survivors suffer. While the Slash has the same hitbox as 1X, John, and Jason, he has quite a slow windup, making it frustrating to hit against better players. But while this may be a weak point, his other abilities can be extremely powerful, especially the Void Rush, as it is easy to hit and can stack up some ridiculous damage if used effectively. You need to make sure you're hitting that second attack, as the initial rush only deals 10 damage. If you manage to hit both rushes, you will deal a total of 40 damage, which is a big difference. Also, keep in mind, you don't have to immediately hit the same survivor twice. If you're surrounded with survivors, which can often happen when the game first starts, you can chain the attack on multiple different survivors, as the ability only ends once you hit someone with hallucination 2. Not only does this look really cool, but it dishes out a lot more damage than you normally would. A crazy thing about this ability is you don't even need to use it to deal damage. If your teleport is on cooldown and you want to travel a long distance, you can just use the ability and you will quickly reach your destination simply due to how long it lasts. It's a ridiculously good movement option and dishes out great damage. It is definitely Noli's best ability, and you should be using it as much as possible. While the Void Star has a huge hitbox, you should be careful with using it during chases. You stop completely, and even if you manually explode the star, it travels quite slowly and can be easily dodged. So only use it if the survivor is forced to take a certain path and there is a wall you can aim the star towards. This results in a much bigger explosion, making it more reliable to connect. You can also use it to catch players camping on ledges off guard, as you can sometimes pull them down. This saves you time climbing up and makes the survivors shit themselves. Finally, you can use this to snipe survivors hiding behind walls, as a hitbox is big enough to hit them. This can really catch survivors off guard when they're trying to loop you, and can be hard to avoid if you're near the wall you're aiming towards. His teleportation ability has two primary uses. First of all, it's obviously used for transportation and catching survivors off guard. If you see a survivor in the distance or their aura is highlighted, you can quickly close the gap when other killers would have to waste time running. This can also heavily counter 007, as once they've teleported, you can quickly teleport to the farthest survivor spawn from you, making it much easier to kill them. The second